Honestly, the first packs I remember buying are like 1984 tops, and we'd ride our bikes to, the local gas station or whatever, buy 84 tops, and then we'd all try and trade each other for Jose Cruz.
Yeah, my dad just would bring me to Target, and I'd see some blaster boxes, and sometimes he'd say no, sometimes he'd say yes, but when he said yes, I'd open up some cards, and then probably around 8 years old, I'd say, is when I like really first started getting into it because of him. Getting into breaking, I started on Instagram Live actually, probably when I was about 10 years old. And so it's me and my little squeaker voice, I call it. And I just go back in my room and just try and sell singles or open blaster boxes that I found at Target for people.
Yeah, he would wake me like at 2 in the morning, ask me if to go check PayPal to see if he got a PayPal payment for something. And I'd be like, what are you doing? Like this whole thing of online, breaking cards, I just didn't understand it. But 10-year-old, Keegan figured it out. We lost more money than we made on Instagram when we started, right? Because what would happen is he, again, 10, 11-year-old kid, be impatient, then decide, hey, let's just open a box. And the next thing you know, opening a box would end up opening, the rest of the case. But, yeah, there was a lot of money, management learned there, having to, figure out what makes sense to buy, what makes sense to open, what makes sense to sell.
Instagram, I just thought it'd be a little cool side hustle, just a little thing that's fun for me. But when we joined Loupe, it was like, wow. I remember when we got excited for nights in December of 2020, we just come up and break for a couple hours, and we're like, man, this could be the real deal. So I saw Loupe on Instagram when Zilla first kind of started it. And I watched his live video of him doing the bingo roller
So bad.
to like randomize stuff with like Top Series 1. I'm like, oh my goodness, what is he doing? And so I pestered Zilla about getting on, and I didn't get a response. And the next couple days, I told my dad, did you email him? He was like, yes. I was like, you need to email him again. And so he emailed him again, and then I sent Eric another DM on Instagram, and finally he responded, and my dad will tell you what he said, but yeah, it was interesting.
We bugged him a lot. Like within a 2-week period, I probably emailed him, daily, if not twice a day, and he said, look, you are annoying. He basically told us we're annoying, and like the only reason I'm giving you a shot is because you've been so persistent. He said, but he told us like, you are on a short leash. You better have the product, you better sell, and told us kind of how to, he critiqued our Instagram, breaks, because they were just very basic, and he kind of told us what to improve, and then kind of took off from there.
Starting in 2020, just breaking wise, like my biggest box, we opened a huge box called Flawless. I think my dad and I did a good job of like introducing high end to Loupe, and like that kind of just gradually moving along like as we go on. Everything was good, but like that Flawless made our month. That could be any night in May of 2022 versus that was a huge deal in December of 2020.
I'll be honest with you, when we started, like my wife and I, we wanted to make like another $20,000 a year, right? To help pay for our kids' education and maybe go on a little nicer vacation or something like that. So the fact that we are over $3 million is just stunning. Like it's been life-changing for us.
Our relationship has always been pretty strong. Me and my dad being like working side by side every day with this. You gotta learn patience and just good life lessons. So I feel like it's made our relationship that was already strong even stronger.
I think all of this is really, customer relations, right? And how you treat people, how you, to your point, the shipping. They want, when someone buys something, I was like, they bought this, they spent money on this, they should receive it, in a good manner. And so, we put a lot of pride in that. And again, it's all about relationships for us.
Yeah, and I've going off to college, I've heard people saying, oh, you need to make connections. But a lot of people have this understanding that connections are a one-way thing, to where it's like, oh, this person can only help me, I can't help them. So I've realized in the relationships I've built with buyers and other sellers on Loupe, it's like connections are a two-way thing. And to build relationships and friendships, that's the best way to build connections, I think.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I tell Keegan about this, I mean, obviously selling the cards and stuff is great, and the revenue from it is good, but he's like building these connections and these relationships that are going to benefit him, you know, when he's, you know, well beyond Loupe, right? I mean, he's literally, you know, interacting with very, you know, high level, you know, business people and building these connections. And, you know, he's going to start at a different place in the business world than I did because of that, right? And because of his ability to, you know, there's a lot of guys on Loupe, you know, that he has an open, you know, line with to ask him questions about things he's doing, you know, at school or directions for his career, everything. So it's been really good.
I think my favorite break was probably this product called the Mint baseball. And that was when like I really realized like how big a night can be. We sold out 2 cases of it, I think. We're pulling Rocky Balboa autos and just really cool stuff. And it was a huge night for us, probably our biggest night and up to that point.
That's cool. Obviously, my biggest pool is recent. It's that 2018 Ohtani 1 of 1. And again, I just think it shows the trust that the buyers have in the app and the platform to, you know, make a big investment or take a big chance on a box like that, and then to be able for it to come through and hit that 1 of 1, and then meet the next day, get it, you know, walk through Beckett and have it come back at 9, 5, 10. It's like, I mean, that could be a life-changing card for somebody. So that was pretty cool. I mean, I think the most challenging thing is just finding inventory, you know, the right amount of inventory at the right price for the consumer, right? I mean, that, as everyone knows in the hobby, the prices of product is just going through the roof, right? So it's especially for someone small like us, you know, we're not getting, you know, massive allocation or anything. We have to really hunt and peck. So that's been our biggest challenge, is making sure we bring fresh stuff. Every time we go live, we want someone to find something new in our store.
I like the other sellers a lot, and I think it's good that there's like a friendly competition within the app. I don't think many people on the app, many sellers view like each other as like competition that you have to just drive down, but it's like a friendly way to, you know, just build the business and chat with each other. I remember when I was younger, I'd go to card shows and I just wouldn't really, I didn't feel like I fit in with like the older generation and like trying to find my way in the card community. And then like Loupe came along. It's like, man, there's so many people that I can relate to in the hobby, and like Loupe feels so young and hip, but like it's open to all ages too. And so, I mean, it's a wide range of collectors, but like everyone gets along, and it's just a great community that I feel welcomed in. I think a lot of people feel welcomed in too.